How are you guys doing today? Rangovidmanga12 here, and we are back with Ultimate Spider-Man issue 32, and this is one of my favourite issues out of the entire Ultimate Spider-Man series. Of course, I've got quite a lot of favourites, but this one really sticks in your head, and you really remember this saga throughout the entire series. So guys, I am so excited. In this issue, we're going to be seeing Spider-Man beating the living crap out of the imposter Spider-Man, and we're going to get a little bit of a small twist towards the end and throughout the comic. Not something major, but just something that's quite surprising. So guys, I think it's time that we get into this issue, so let's go! The issue begins with us joining Aunt May on a phone call to Gwen Stacy's mother that we know left home, ran off with someone else, something along those lines. And as you can see, Gwen Stacy has been left at Aunt May's house, and of course that was only whilst her father was working, but now her father has died, so Gwen Stacy's pretty much just been dropped into Aunt May's life, and Aunt May's suddenly responsible for this girl because she's got nowhere to stay, and that's a pretty life-changing thing to happen. Especially, we're going to see a few life-changing things throughout this issue, especially with Gwen Stacy, Aunt May, and Peter. But I actually think that that is one of the best things about the Ultimate Spider-Man comics, because characters kind of develop off each other, if you get what I mean. Like, from here on out, the development of Aunt May and the development of Peter Parker's relationship with Gwen Stacy and with each other is all going to change because of this life-changing thing about Gwen Stacy. I'm going to see that play out a lot in this issue, and then of course in the issues ahead. Now, as you can see, we get thrown right into the main part of the comic. The thing that we have all been waiting for is the confrontation between the Spider-Man criminal and, of course, our friendly neighborhood Spider-Man Peter Parker. What you've got to remember is that this Spider-Man criminal murdered Captain Stacy, and of course that is a major thing because it is a father of his personal friend Gwen Stacy, so this is now personal for Spider-Man. And not only that, but he's also done it under Spider-Man's name. He's done it in the same costume as Spider-Man, causing all of these things, all of these crimes, causing all of this havoc in his name. And as you can see, he's just not holding back whatsoever. I think this is the angriest I've ever seen Ultimate Spider-Man so far in the Ultimate Spider-Man comics. Of course, he gets even more angry later on in the series, but right now, this is as angry as he's ever gotten before, and he is kicking the living crap out of this Spider-Man criminal, picking him up by his neck with one hand, unmasks him in front of everybody, and I kind of thought that he looked like Cletus Cassidy. And in case you guys don't know who Cletus Cassidy is, he's actually Carnage. Now that might be just like a little Easter egg, because Cletus Cassidy doesn't actually exist in the Ultimate Universe, so Brian Michael Bendis and Matt Bagley might have done that as a little Easter egg to the Cletus Cassidy character, but I'm not too sure about that. I've pretty much only just noticed that he looked like that. Now, one thing I absolutely love about Mark Bagley's artwork is that it really puts you in the situation, and you can see here that the crowd, all of these hostages, are watching Spider-Man strangle this criminal. And one thing that Mark Bagley's artwork really does is bring you into the comic. You actually feel like you are watching Spider-Man doing this, and it really makes you kind of think, Spider-Man, are you gonna stop? Like, you aren't this person, what are you doing? And it really makes you just jump into that comic as if you were sat there right next to these hostages watching this play out, and I think that is awesome. Whilst I was blabbing on there a little bit, we did see Spider-Man strangling this criminal, and he realised what he was doing, he realised what he was becoming, and that is when he kind of snapped out of this rage of nearly murdering this guy. And of course he leaves a note saying, "From the real Spider-Man," and then of course he's webbed the criminal up, he's got him there or whatever. But what Spider-Man actually learns to do is that he learns to take his personal life out of being Spider-Man. For example, what that spider criminal did was murder the father of one of his personal friends, so that kind of made it personal to Spider-Man. But throughout the Ultimate Spider-Man comics, Peter learns to not get his personal feelings mixed in with what he does to the criminals. And again, that is something to do with the development over Spider-Man's character and Peter's character. But what I really like is that Brian Michael Bendis kind of brings that to all the characters. He develops them all in similar fashion and just with life experiences. And of course, Peter just had one of them with that criminal right there. Now, another life-changing decision is Peter and Aunt May are actually inviting Gwen Stacy to stay with them, to live with them forever. Of course, that is drastically going to change the relationship between Mary Jane, because Mary Jane is kind of jealous of Gwen Stacy. But not only that, but it's going to change the relationship between Gwen and Peter, because now they are living in the same house and they're kind of becoming like this brother and sister relationship instead of what it could possibly be with an actual relationship. Now, of course, it was only inevitable that we were going to see Mary Jane's reaction to this, and she again is not jealous, but she's kind of concerned for Peter and concerned for Gwen, but also right now, everything seems to be focusing more on Peter Parker and Spider-Man and Gwen, when, without even realizing it, Mary Jane is just there in the background, struggling with having nightmares of being thrown off the bridge with Green Goblin. She's struggling with her own family, with her father possibly cheating on her mum, and again, that is actually going to play out further in the Ultimate Spider-Man comics. I've mentioned it before, but there's actually a really awesome scene, well, panel in one of the comics in the future where Peter picks up Mary Jane's father with one hand, and it is just phenomenal. It really sends shivers down your spine, and I can't actually remember what issue it is, but I cannot wait to get to it. So Mary Jane finally tells Peter that she loves him, but she tells it him, but also she can't keep going through with all these things. She's dealing with him being Spider-Man, and she straight up just said there, Peter, you are gonna die doing this. You are gonna die in that costume. And of course, we know the inevitable thing that happens towards the end of the Ultimate Spider-Man series, but the way Mary Jane puts it across really makes you think, wait, he actually will die if he keeps doing this. And guys, that is where the issue ends. That is where this awesome issue ends, with Peter and Mary Jane breaking up. And this is why Peter, being Spider-Man, conflicts his relationship with Aunt May, with Gwen Stacy, with Mary Jane. It's because it always gets in the way. But all of that on top of Gwen Stacy moving in and the death of Uncle Ben and Mary Jane's family problems and all that, it's all too much, and eventually they have to break up, and that is what just happened. Now guys, that is the end of the issue, but the next issue is jumping into the Venom saga. We're going to be seeing the black suit, we're going to be seeing Eddie Brock, and of course we're going to be seeing the origin of Venom in the Ultimate Universe. So guys, look out for the next issue, but I'm going to give this issue a 10 out of 10. I absolutely loved it. Tell me in the comments below whether you're going to remember this issue for the rest of the Ultimate Spider-Man series. Some of you guys might not like it, but I of course do. I thought everything kind of came out. Everything about Mary Jane's family, everything about Peter possibly dying in the Spider-Man costume, and just Gwen Stacy living with Aunt May and Peter now. It's going to be awesome. So guys, hit the like button on this video, hit the subscribe button for more. Go to the links in the description to follow me on Twitter and Facebook to hear about all the comic book news, and of course, when my videos are going to be edited and uploaded. If you follow me on Twitter, I mainly tell you guys about my video editing and stuff like that, and when a video is going to be uploaded. I mainly do that on my Twitter. Now, if you want to know what I'm doing in my free time when I'm not editing these videos, then check out my Instagram. I post pictures of my comic books and, of course, Comic-Con and my Civil War comic variants and stuff like that, so go check that out. But guys, that is the end of this video, so hit the subscribe button for more, hit the like button on this video, and I will see you all in my next video.